All right, everyone. So now that we have an idea of what these systems of equations are, we already talked about how to solve them by graphing and what the solution is going to look like, right? We talked about if we graph these lines, we're finding the point where they cross. That point is going to be on both lines at the same time. Right now, we're going to dive more into the math of this, okay, and how we can actually solve some things and how they kind of play into that. So if you see, I have 4 problems here. Okay, level 1 to level 4, you can probably figure out that the higher level you go, the more difficult they are. All right, but all the problems, it's the same idea with each problem. Okay, the concept is still the same. I just wanted to kind of start from the bottom and kind of work our way up. Obviously, if you have questions, reach out to me. But I tried to cover everything you're going to see in terms of talking about substitution. You should know what substitution means. We're going to do some sort of replacing, right? To substitute means to replace. Okay, so what you're looking for in these problems is you're looking for a situation where you have y equals something or x is equal to something. Because after we get done with substitution, we're going to talk about something called elimination. When we do elimination, you're going to look for other things. All right, so what you want to look for as far as these problems are concerned, if you want to do substitution, is a y equals or an x equals. So if I take a look at these problems, in number 1, you have both of them set up that way. In number 2, you also have both of them set up that way. Number 3, you got a y equals. Number 4, you got an x equals. That's what you're looking for in order to be able to do substitution or to make it the most convenient. You can do substitution whenever you want. It's most convenient when it's set up this way. Okay, so let's go to level number 1. Okay, this is the easiest type of problem that you're going to see. Remember the goal here, guys. The goal is to find an ordered pair. The goal is to find your XY combination that works. Okay. Well, in that first problem, they actually give you one. They give you 4. So you have half of your answer. How do we find the other half? Well, if x is equal to 4 here, that means that x is equal to 4 up there. Because remember, this is working as a system. So that's where your substitution is. That 4 is going to go in there for x. You're going to have y is equal to 2 times 4 plus 8. The 4 replaces the x. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. So there's your y. So for this problem, x is equal to 4. Y is equal to 16. So your answer is 4 comma 16. Your answer is the ordered pair 4 comma 16. That's about as easy as it gets. If you take a look at number 2, right, we'll dial it up a notch. We take a look at level 2. In level 2, you have y equals x plus 4, and you have y is equal to 2x minus 9. Well, if you have two things being named the same thing, they're both y's, that means that they are the same. Okay? So if you knew that Mr. Rankin was an algebra teacher and that Mr. Rankin was also the baseball coach, there's a good possibility that those two Mr. Rankins are the same person doing different things at the same time. Okay, it's really no different here. Okay, if this is the case, you're going to take that x plus 4 and you're going to set it equal to the 2x minus 9. If they are the same thing, you can set them equal. So you have yourself an equation with variables on both sides. Minus x, move the smaller variable, right? This is what we talked about solving. 4 is equal to 2x minus x is x minus 9 plus 9 plus 9. So your x value is going to be 13. So I got half my answer, right? 13 is going to be the first half of my answer. Now, how do you find the second half? Okay, this is where you go back and you substitute. You can put it here for x, or you could put it in there for x, right? Why doesn't it matter? Because remember, this is working as a system. And because it's working as a system, no matter where you put it, you're going to get the same answer. The easier equation looks like this one. So if I put x into there, it would be 13 plus 4, which would be 17. So my y value is 17. So I got my answer there is 13 comma 7. My answer there was 4 comma 16. Okay, dialing it up to level number 3. Okay, here's where it starts to get a little more challenging. Okay, y is equal to 2x plus 6. And in the bottom equation, I got 2x plus y is equal to 22. Okay, if we were in class, I would go through an example. I would use basketball as an example right now, and I would probably use LeBron James because LeBron James is the best player in the world. If LeBron James right now, if he was going to get hurt, all right, and the Lakers didn't have him anymore to use, he was done for the season. Is there going to be somebody on the bench that is going to give the same amount of production as LeBron James? No way. Okay, there's no way. That's not possible because there's only one LeBron James. All right, but are there two players on the bench, maybe three players on the bench that could score as many points as the game as LeBron? Sure. Okay, let's say LeBron James averages 28 points a game. There might be somebody on the bench that averages 12 and another that averages 16. And that 12 and that 16 would add to make 28. So I'm willing to bet if I was the coach of that team, those two players would probably play a little bit more because they can give me the similar production that LeBron James was giving me. My point is, when you substitute, two things can replace one as long as they're the same. So here's what I'm getting at. Y is equal to 2x plus 6. So that means this y right here is also going to be equal to 2x plus 6. So there's your substitution. So in this bottom equation, instead of having 2x plus y, it's going to be 2x plus 2x plus 6. I don't know why my marker's acting up there. I'll try one more time. 2x plus 6. Let me try it down here. 2x plus 2x plus 6 is equal to 22. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, and then I would solve that equation. So the 2x and the 2x are going to make a 4x plus 6 is equal to 22 minus 6 minus 6. This is all just solving. 4x is equal to 16. Divide both sides by 4. So you get x equals 4. So there's half your answer, right? This is equal to 4. Now, what am I going to do to find y? I'm going to take that 4. I'm going to go all the way back right there. Now that I know what x is, I can substitute. So instead of being 2 times x, it's going to be 2 times 4 plus 6, which is 8 plus 6, which is 14. That's your y. So your y value is 14. Your answer there is 4, 14. Okay. All right, we made it, right? Level number 4, last problem. Okay. This is as challenging as it's going to get as far as substitution. X is equal to 3y minus 4. That means this x is also going to be equal to 3y minus 4. So that's where my substitution is going to take place. Just be careful. When the 3y minus 4 replaces that x, it doesn't replace the 3. Okay? This 3 has to stay. It's 3 times x. So it's 3 times 3y minus 4 plus 2y is equal to 10. Okay, hopefully you guys understand that, right? You got to put the two things in there. The 3 does not go anywhere. So this means I'm going to have to distribute here. 3 times 3y is 9y minus 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 2y is equal to 10. Combine the like terms, a 9y and a 2y make an 11y minus 12 is equal to 10. I'm just solving here. Plus 12 plus 12, 11y is equal to 22. Divide both sides by 11. Okay, y is equal to 2. So I got half my answer. Okay, y is equal to 2. What do I do with that y to find the other half? I take that 2. I go all the way back up there. So instead of being 3 times y, it's going to be 3 times 2 minus 4, which is 6 minus 4, which is 2. There's the second half of your answer. So my answer here is 2, 2. Okay. So a couple things just to recap here, guys. First off, when you go to plug the numbers back in, like we talked about in numbers 3, 4, actually level 2 as well, right? We got our first answer and then we went back up. We got our first answer. We went back up here. I got my first answer. Make sure you know what you have, okay? Make sure you know what number you're dealing with. In level 2, the first number I got was an X, so make sure it goes in X's position. In level 4, the first number I solved for was actually Y, so that's your Y position. Okay, so just make sure you're putting the right numbers into the right spots. If you want to go the extra mile and you want to check and make sure that your answers are correct, plug your numbers into the equations. Okay, so if I wanted to check to make sure for number 4, if I wanted to check that 2 comma 2 is the answer, plug them in. Okay, they should work. Okay, if I plug 2 comma 2 right there, that would be 3 times 2 plus 2 times 2, which would be 6 plus 4, which would be 10, which is exactly what it should be. It should be 10. Okay, so if you want to double check and make sure that they work, plug them in. If for some reason they don't work, that means you made a mistake somewhere along the line. So, guys, I tried to cover everything you're going to see. Obviously, if you have questions, reach out. Keep coming back to this video. Check it out. If you see something a little bit different, okay, that you're a little unsure of, reach out, and hopefully, I'll help you navigate your way through it. Or if you want me to put together a new video for you, I'll do that as well. Okay, guys, good luck.